Hello guys, good morning. Today it's Monday, new week, fresh charts to look at. A lot to talk about on this morning. Plan ahead of the coming week. We have CPI numbers coming out, so could get a lot of volatility. So let's take a look at some charts and see what we have, and see where we potentially can have some trade ideas. Okay, so let's start off with Bitcoin. So I was initially half risk long on both Bitcoin and Phantom FTM, and I both closed them this morning. Now the reasoning for that is pretty damn simple. Well, for Bitcoin, I just don't like the weekly closes in general. Okay, if you take a look at just clean charts for Bitcoin, it would have been more ideal if the weekly, I've talked about it last week as well, if the weekly would have closed above these weekly lows. So if we would have SFP'd those and closed above here, then it would be more likely that we would see straight continuation towards fresh local highs, but we didn't get that and closed ugly below there. So that will immediately be our first resistance going forward and the first level that we'll have to reclaim. Okay, if we reclaim the level here, break back above there, then this can be seen as a sweep of all of these lows or a deviation, whatever you want to call it. And then the draws should be on these highs next. So then we target the other side of the range, which is up here. And at that point, with this trend being up, we could potentially extend our targets and start targeting 25k plus. Okay. So that's why I closed my Bitcoin long. Now, as I said, as I posted in the Discord as well, I said probably chop over the weekend, sweep some highs, come back down for some lows, then result in upside. Gonna enjoy the weekend, and so should you. Blah blah blah. And I posted this chart. Okay, and as you can see, that's been playing out beautifully. So what am I watching here? This was the long I was in, by the way. Closed it this morning, slightly below break even. Just a scratch, nothing big. But anyways, what am I watching going forward? I want to see either a sweep of some lows here. Okay, so something like this, sweep, and then reclaim. Then I can get a better entry on a potential long. Target these highs and this resistance, and as for swing longs, we need a reclaim above here. Okay, so if we do something like this and then start reclaiming this and start seeing bullish price action up here back inside this range, then I think we reverse back towards there and trade back towards that weekly range high level at 25k, which is still the draw on liquidity in my opinion. Okay, so this weekly range low, range high, we're back at the mid-range right now. So yeah, we'll have to see if it holds. As I said, as long as we're below, as long as we're above that level, I'm cautiously bullish. But as I said, I wanted to see a bullish close on Bitcoin in order to hold that long from down here. The idea of that long was a quick wick on the daily, right, and close the weekly strong above here, and then I would have been confident that we wouldn't revisit these lows. Okay, if price would have done this and instantly closed the weekly back within here, then I would have probably just expected a small dip on the weekly and then instant continuation. Okay, so then this entry would have been pretty damn good, but yeah, we didn't get that. We've got to trade what's in front of us and anticipate in what we're seeing, and yeah, not what we want to see. Okay, so obviously I want to see higher prices, but yeah, we've got to see what's in front of us, and right now I think that weekly close isn't too ideal, so I'll be cautious. I'm still cautiously bullish, but I think it could take longer here before we make fresh highs than if we would have closed above this level. Okay, so still cautiously bullish, but yeah, taking it easy. Oops. So FTM, unfortunately, so I entered on this range high retest, and we got a good initial reaction. I was up 1R at one point up here, but yeah, we reversed that instantly, and as I said, weekly close on this as well, close below last week's low, which isn't ideal in my opinion. I still think this is a bullish chart, which could go a lot higher, but it's just not worth holding in my opinion. The chances of us dipping lower, okay, and at least getting another sweep, if we get this, I can still re-enter here, but I think we will trade back towards our entry rather sooner than later. So yeah, that's why I closed it as well. And if we break back within this range, right, then I think we trade all the way back towards this range mean level, and then I can start looking for fresh longs there, at least for a bounce back towards range high. Okay, so that's my plan on Phantom, not looking to re-enter here. Ideally looking for a dip lower first, or at least a sweep of some lows. Then some charts that I do really like here is still this SKL chart. We had a monster trade on this last week, right? We said something was brewing here. We said we had reclaimed this range low level, and we were targeting range mean and range high. At least, okay, we entered a trade. Let me check. This one, which was down here, right, as you can see, at a range low, and we targeted range mean, and that played out just beautifully. Okay, unfortunately we closed it right here because we were going into the weekend, but that's fine, still profited nicely. Now what I really like on this one, and why I like it more than I like other charts like Bitcoin or Phantom or others, is the look of the weekly, right? So build up on these candles, small candles, and then expansion towards range mean. And yeah, as you can see, this just looks very strong. On the daily as well, we got rejected here quite a few times, but in general, this held up pretty nicely. Consider that Bitcoin was dumping, okay? If we take a look at these lows, you can also see that we've swept these, and we have unswept yesterday high and unswept last week's high. So what I'm looking for here, I re-entered half risk this morning. Very important, don't over risk. Half risk because of the reasons I just gave. Just Bitcoin and yeah, Bitcoin in general doesn't look too strong on the weekly. So just in case Bitcoin takes an absolute shit and nukes lower, I want to be prepared, and yeah, in case it just does this, right? But yeah, I still think this is gonna trade higher. Once we break above range mean, that could be a nice compounding area. Trail your stops, okay, below here, because then the low should be in. I've kept my stop below this low time frame consolidation that led to the move towards range mean. So if we get below there, I'm out. That area should hold in my opinion. And as I said, if we start breaking above range mean, we should start seeing some nice candles like these again and trade towards that weekly range high level, which is key draw on liquidity from back here. Okay, so that's the reasoning why I closed FTM and Bitcoin, mainly because of weekly closes, and because on those closes I want to see at least another sweep of last week's lows. And why I entered this, because this is clearly one that's standing out to me, a monster of a weekly close. So could see continuation this week. All right, I hope that's clear. So taking it easy at the start of the week. We have more than time enough. So let's see what we get. If you like this market review and want to join the Discord where I post all of these trades, use the link in the description, make an account, send some money over there and send me a message on Discord or on Twitter and I'll add you to the members. Okay, so thanks to PrimeXBT, you'll also get up to a $7,000 deposit bonus. So big thanks to them for sponsoring. And yeah, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.